This video is brought to you by the Bates College Digital and Computational Studies program under a Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike version 4.0 license. So something that I've been doing throughout the last few videos is making use of functions. So let's start with our from microbit import star. I want to just take a moment to show how we use functions. And I did a little bit of this in class with make code. I can go back and do a video on that if there is a request to do so. But I want to show it in Python. I'm going to start by, let's have a hunger variable. And I'll have my while true. Now if I want to show that, well, first of all, let's look at a function that we've already been using. There's a function called sleep. And the syntactic pattern for functions looks like this. Okay? And what that means is that when we use a function, it's the name of the function and the parameters to the function. A function can be thought of as one or more commands in sequence, given a name. So one that I've been using is sleep. It's a function. It's defined somewhere else, in particular in this library of code, and it takes one parameter which tells us how long we want the microbit to go to sleep for. So we can see that pattern. There's the name, and then we have in parentheses the parameters. We also have some other functions I've used. I've used something from the display library of code. So I type display and dot, and it shows me all of the functions there are for working with the display. So I can use scroll, hello world, and if I run this code, I can flash it to my microbit. Notice I have a couple of comments there. Those will be ignored. And it should be the case that in an infinite loop, this will scroll the words hello world. Now we saw there were some other display functions available to us. For example, clear, and clear takes no parameters. So now I could have another sleep of a half second. I can flash this to the device. And what this will do now is it will sleep for a second. It will scroll hello world. Then it will clear the display and wait for half a second. So there we are, hello world. Then it clears the screen, waits half a second, and does it all again. Where this really becomes important for us to understand, so if we say scroll, we might want to scroll the hunger. And if I flash the microbit, what we're going to see is an error. Well, is that? No, that's from the previous time I ran this. So if we watch the microbit, we see there's an error, and right here, we see that on line 10, this is in the REPL, that there's an error and it cannot convert an int to a string because hunger is an integer. It's a number. So we could do it this way. As string, we use the stir function or string function, and we give it one parameter, which is the hunger variable. That says take the hunger variable, turn it into a string, store it in the variable as string, and then I could pass that to scroll. So now if I flash that, what should happen is we'll sleep for a second. I will convert hunger to a string, and then I will scroll that string. And there you are. It's going to do that. It's not changing the value of hunger. We would have to add more code, but that gives you a quick demonstration of how we use functions, or as I said in class, how we call a function.